Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. This is a webinar by Pink Elephant Media on how to legally hack your competitors' customers and win. Now, this essentially is a way of looking at how your competitors are driving traffic in to their website, whether that be through social media, advertising, direct traffic. However they are doing that, we are going to look at their processes and we are going to duplicate them so that you can make them your own and start to steal some of their competitors straight from under their nose. And to do this costs very, very little money. It gives you a great rate of return on your investment. It stops you from making the mistakes that they have made because they've tried and tested these methods and you can see that they're working for them and therefore they will work for you. All I need you to do right now is grab a pen and paper so you can take some notes. A lot of this will give to you at the end with links to some of the tools that we're talking about on our website. But for now, just grab a pen and paper, turn off Facebook, turn off your mobile phone so you haven't got any distractions and you don't miss this. So what you can expect from your training with me today is that you're going to have the exact knowledge and specific action steps that you need to be able to legally and ethically hack your competitors' passing trade. This formula can help you increase your website traffic by thousands of visitors a month with your exact target audience with a very high ROI who have real spending power. And if you're just getting started, this is going to be especially powerful for you because it's going to save you years of trial and error and help you launch your business the right way from the very beginning, driving relevant traffic to your site immediately at a very low cost. What we would say as a caveat to this is that you need to ensure that your website, whether you've done a self-build or whether you've employed an agency to do this, is set up correctly in the first place. We can often see some rookie mistakes that are very simple to correct, which would mean that you make the most of the traffic that is coming in and that traffic is converting. Now, if you're unsure of whether you have set up correctly, we would recommend you check out our startup course that covers off these basics. Having said that, this course will show you how to bring that traffic in. And if you haven't set up correctly, it is still going to allow you to convert that traffic. So it's definitely worth watching this and copying down the processes. So if you manage to stay till the end today, which we really want you to do, we're going to give you a one-page digital blueprint, which is the exact document that I use with my clients to help them hack their competitors' customers. It will give you the strategic steps you need to implement this process and a list of providers. And just to say that we are not affiliated with any of the people that we are telling you about. These are just simply the tools that we use to help build people's brands. So hi, I'm Henny. I am your trainer today. I'm the founder of Pink Elephant Media. We're a digital marketing consultancy. We're based in Gloucestershire. We also do training for small to medium-sized businesses to help them understand how they can get ahead online. So check us out, www.pinkelephantmedia.co.uk. Visit us on Facebook, Twitter, any of our social media channels. Get in touch. We will get back to you. And we'd love to hear from you and get your feedback on this webinar. So any comments at all, we would gratefully receive them. Who's this course for? Well, it's for people with established online businesses who need help implementing strategies to drive sales and traffic to their website. For solo entrepreneurs, from small to medium-sized businesses or to businesses with teams of marketers wanting to try out a new proven process that allows them to gain traction and dominate their marketplace. Or it's for people who just want to get a bit better at marketing. When you started your business, you had a clear vision of where you wanted to get to, how you were going to get there, and what the end result would be. Now, for those of you that are at the beginning of this journey, you are making your plans and setting out your objectives of how to get there, and you haven't suffered any knocks or setbacks along the way. However, for those of you that have, this may resonate. Some of our clients have said to us that before they found us, they were nearly flat broke and frustrated with the money that they had wasted on bad advice. They wanted proven strategies that will help their business grow and not a marketing professional who had never tried or practiced any of the strategies that they were implementing. In effect, what they were doing is implementing these strategies at their client's expense. Now, they want someone who also understood what it took to make it from a business owner's perspective, who is going to take the time and effort to listen to their clients and come up with strategies that are proven to help their business grow. The reason we're now giving this course away for free is so that we hope that we can build a relationship where you trust us and you come back to us for help and advice. We have a real passion for small businesses and love watching and hearing about how they thrive with the advice in which we give them. However, it will not help if you don't implement this training. You are not going to see the results if you just listen to this and never actually implement it. So we really want you to go away, implement this advice, and then tell us how you got on. Tell us the results that you see, and we can show you how to make that even better. So let's get cracking. First of all, we split this into 3 parts. We want it to be really easy for you. The first one is we're going to get our detective hats on. We're going to work out what your competitors are doing online and how they are doing it. Then part 2 is we're going to how to hack your competitors' sales pipeline. And then the part 3 is how we're going to actually turn these into your customers. Now, don't worry, this is part 1. This is detective work. Take notes if you want to, but as I said, when you stay for the end, you're going to get all the tools that we talk about in this webinar sent straight to your email address. So we use SEMRush. It's a really cool little tool. It's totally free. There is a paid for version, but you don't need it. You enter the domain, keyword, URL into that and select the country that you want to spy on. And that will take you through to a whole host of information, which I'm going to show you about in a minute. Now, on our blog on Pink Elephant Media, go in there and have a look, because we've got a blog which says, I think it's neat tools for spying on your competitors. And that will give you a list of other tools that you can use where the paid for version of this comes in and you go, oh, I want a bit more information. There's a whole load of tools on that blog that will show you how that you can hack and get that bit more information without having to pay for the full version on SEMRush. So I'm just going to take you into a little video now which will explain to you in detail how to use this site. So I've now entered SEMRush. I've used amazon.co.uk. This obviously would be your competitor that you type in here, and for this purpose I've selected the UK. If you are a global business, I would suggest you probably look at the global market because it gives you more content. But actually, just to drill down for today, we're going to just use the UK. So here you can see the organic searches, paid searches, backlink and display advertising over the past month. Now, what I am going to just point out whilst I'm here is the importance of keywords. We cannot stress this enough. There are plenty of people out there who say, oh, just use Facebook advertising or pay-per-click advertising. It's going to drag that traffic in quicker. Yes, it will. But in the long term, it's going to cost you a lot of money to get there. So having really good keyword content right from the word off is so important because it means that you're dragging in the right traffic right from the beginning. So if we just take Amazon as an example of their keywords, they have 8.3 million keywords. They rank 6 in traffic in the UK, and the cost of that traffic, if they wanted to buy it, would be £41.1 million. That is a mind-blowing sum of money. But whereas if you look at their paid traffic, it brings in them 11 million a month. They have 1.2 million keywords that they use. And the cost of that traffic is 5.6 million. So immediately you can see that keywords actually are saving them saving them millions and millions of pounds month on month because they've got their keyword content right from the beginning. Their backlinks are 65.9 million referring sites to Amazon. That is a huge amount of traffic. It's almost the same amount as their organic search traffic. So the value of that would be absolutely ginormous. In comparison, their display advertising costs are 3,000 visitors. I mean, when you look at the comparison of what they're doing, that gives you a really good idea of the business model that they are employing and what they are placing importance on. So that is a really good place to start. So if you want to know what their keywords are, you can dive into more depth in that. It also shows you here what who's clicking through. Well, we're on the UK site, so you'd expect the UK to be high there. But here you can see a sort of a graph example of it. And here the orange line shows their paid traffic, and the organic traffic is the blue line. So it just goes to show the percentage of their budget that's being spent. Immediately you can see that to the eye. So these are the top keywords that they use. So say you were a men's outfitters, it may be that it's men's shirts or men's ties or something like that that would be driving the amount of traffic to them. So here you can see Amazon brings them 20,400,000 clicks per month, and the cost of that is so low. Admittedly, it is their keyword and it would be protected. However, if you look at your competitors, often that isn't the case, and it is the case. Again, a lot of people say, I don't have any competitors, we're totally unique in our field. Well, everyone has a competitor. And if you don't know who yours is, what I would suggest is you type your own website into SEMRush and it will bring up who your competitors are, because online, your competitor is someone that you compete with on keywords. So even if your product is totally unique, and you're trying to raise awareness of a product that no one knows about or no one exists, you will be using similar keyword content to other people to raise awareness of the product that you've got. So you are still competing on those keywords. So again, if you're unsure, I would type in your own. However, on this occasion, we've typed in the competitor and you can see if you're even getting close to them. So Amazon's biggest competitor is YouTube. And eBay and Amazon.com, which is their competitor to themselves, and Tesco's is also a competitor in the UK. So you can start to see where you are positioned in amongst that. So if you type yourself in, you can see who you are maybe the closest to in terms of competing online with. And maybe just look at trying to get ahead of the next person in front of you. Really concentrate your efforts on that, because you can slowly start to increase, or go for the big guys. Either way you look at it, whoever is ahead of you is doing better than you in terms of dragging traffic onto their site, and that is something that you want to look at. So here we go, we can see their top paid keywords. These are the ones that they use. So for example, say this would be women's footwear, which is what I was doing, was a top paid keyword. I would look to probably run an ad similar to theirs, showing the same, if it was the same boot and it was being sold online or wherever, the same shirt, the same handbag, I would use what brand that handbag was, which obviously in this case that is the brand, that's what they're using, and try to create a similar ad. And if you come down here, you can see a sample of the ad that they are using. So what you would want to do is hack that process. And again, it gives you a list of backlinks that are referring URLs straight to Amazon. Now what we would suggest is that you click some of these backlinks, all the top ones that are giving you more insight into what is driving traffic to this site. And look to see, again, down here, these are referring domains. So, for example, if you clicked bookbutler.com, and it will open up, and here you can see there's not much on the page, but if you typed in Amazon and did a search, you will find all of the referring domains that are coming up. So Amazon obviously sell books through Book Butler, which would make sense. So our suggestion is that you go to Book Butler and you say, look, I've got books, similar content, similar price, that are going to be great for your readers, we'd like to get our books on your site. You know it's popular because it's already referring traffic. And that way you can start to see an increase in your traffic. You start to hack your competitors' pipeline. Now, another way of doing this is to look at their landing pages, their adverts, and see where they are placed, where they are advertising, and then start to hack that process. I'm going to go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. But this gives you a really good starting point. Now, they do have a paid for, and I'm actually purposely not logging in to my upgraded account right now, because I want to show you that actually you don't need it. As you get more in depth into this, and this is one of my favorite tools, you will see that you might want to get a little bit more information. But for the time being, this account is entirely suitable for what you need it to be. So this now leads me on to my next slide. How to hack your competitors' sales pipeline. This is part two, how to hack your competitors' sales pipeline. Now, this is probably the most important part of the digital marketer's skill set, and is one of the simplest and most cost-effective ways to drive traffic to your site. What it allows us to do, in essence, is to reverse engineer your competitors' sales pipeline. And how do we do this? We're not going to reinvent the wheel. What we're going to do is we're going to copy your competitors. So why are we going to do this? Well, the reason for this is because they've probably acquired all the bruises that they want along the way. They've got those bows and arrows in their back, and they've wasted their money, and that means you don't have to. Firstly, they've probably tried and tested quite a few models before they've hit something that really drove the traffic to their site. And as you've seen on SEMRush, you can see the amount of traffic that is driving in. So you can actually see that this is really working for them. Now, this is either a sales or funnel hack. Now, funnel hacking is the term used to investigate the sales and marketing process of your competitors. You can use their model for your own business to test out your competitors' sales and marketing process. Where you need to start is you need to make a list of your competitors, and then using the SEMRush tool you need to check out the landing pages, the adverts and the blog posts, lead pages, anything that is generating the most amount of traffic into their website. Now I would take maybe one landing page, one advert, one blog post, whichever has the most amount of traffic, and just concentrate on maybe even just one, whatever is driving the most amount of traffic, and start to hack that sales process. To give you an example of this, we're going to say that you are a health food company and your biggest competitor is a company called Healthcart. You can see from looking at SEMRush that they are driving huge traffic into their website on a certain page, a referring page. You click that page and there you can see their advert. What you need to do next is to click that advert, and that will then bring up the next set of steps that they have within their sales funnel. And here they have created a tripwire page. Tell us where to send your free bottle. By clicking that and filling in that form, you're then taken through to another page, which gives you access to seeing the next step of this funnel. And here they are asking you whether you want one bottle, two bottles, or three bottles at different prices. So in each step, they're trying to upsell you again in increments and say, you could just have your free bottle, but actually if you buy now, we're going to sell this to you at X price, but, and it's got a timer at the top. Now you're beginning to see the sort of sales tactics that they are using to drive traffic. But however, what you are seeing right now is only about 20 to 30% of what it is that they are actually doing. What you then need to do is actually choose one of those options and buy that bottle. And the reason for that is that you then get to see the after sales, the way in which they as a company retarget you. about 80% of your wealth is in your mailing list. So not only have they captured your data on this, they have upsold you at every step of the way. And often you can find that behind the sales process, even when you think you're at the final step, you fill in your card details, there are more upsells that come along your way that are such tripwires that you will not know about if you do not go through the entire buying process. So the sort of things that you need to look out for is the copyright in their headlines. Are they using good keyword content? Are they using money off? What is it exactly that they are doing? What sort of colours are they using? Because that can influence the buyer. Believe it or not, just changing the colour of your ad can actually sometimes increase conversion. What are their call to actions and where is it placed? That's also quite important. Are they socially proof? Now this means, do they have any endorsements, badges, ratings, testimonials, subscriber counts, social media connections, test results, anything like that that gives the buyer some sort of feeling that they are buying from a trusted product? Is there a sign up form? How many steps do you actually have to go through? Note down things like their prices as well. Are they using video? Are they listing the benefits and features? Are they giving you a limited time to take up an offer? Or are they using exit intent technology? That is where you're about to leave a website and up pops a box offering you something or asking you a question just to try to stop you leaving at that moment in time. And another thing to look out for is, are they upselling or downselling their product? All these little key features are things that you need just to look out for when you are trying to build your pipeline. So you're just not missing the little nuances in their sales pipeline that you are hacking. So keep an eye out for those things as you go through them. And very important that sometimes you think that you are building this perfect funnel off your competitors, but you've missed a few little key features, which are the things that are making them convert. So just keep an eye out for those. You understand how to funnel hack someone's sales process. What you then have to do is look at the types of technology they are using on the back end of their website to convert that traffic into spending clients. I have chosen 4 here. However, on our blog, on our website, we have a whole host of tools. It's titled Neat Tools for Spying on Your Competitors, that allows you to dig into a little bit more detail the more you get into this process. So go and check that out. However, for the process that we are utilizing today, these 4 tools will work really well, and I'll go into these in a bit more detail now. So for the purpose of today, we will start with Ghostery, which is a Chrome add-on extension. So you need to go to Chrome extensions and type in Ghostery, and once you download it, you'll end up with a little icon like that. Now I'm using BT just to give you an example, as they have quite a lot of trackers on their system. So Ghostery will allow you to see how they are tracking their clients online, and by clicking the extension, they will give you a whole list of the types of trackers that they are using to see what their clients are doing. So if you are unsure of what something is, you can click that and go into the description of what it is. So it will give you an overview of what it is, links to the website, social media feeds, and it will allow you to see exactly what it is that your competitors are using to trace their customers. Now, whether you decide to add these to your website or not is entirely up to you. However, these are tools that they are using, and it gives you an idea of what they consider to be useful and what they don't. And it is worth checking in on these from time to time, because you may find that they've have these on their site and then they are removed, which to me means that they're no longer useful, or they're not doing the job that they hope that they would do. So that would save you an investment. But if you can see them month in, month out, and they're still there, it means it's working for them. So it is worth probably looking to install this onto your website. And you can add these trackers, whether they be self-build, or whether you've got a website company that can add them. You could add most of these trackers to your site on a self-build, so it's definitely worth looking at them, and often they are totally free of charge. So it is worth looking at what your customers are doing online and using the similar tools to your competitors because they've tried and tested these methods. So here I'm going to show you SEMRush. This is a really cool little plugin from Chrome that you can add on. Just type in SEMRush Chrome extension plugin and up it will come, and you can download it and it will appear up here as you can see on your dashboard. Now for this purpose, again, I'm going to look at Amazon. It's just a really great place to start because it gives you a lot more information rather than just picking some website out of the blue. So here you can see that their global ranking is number 49. In the UK, they're the 5th most visited website. For estimated visits, they have 515.9 million visits in the last month. The time on site is approximately 6 minutes, your page views and your bounce rate. You can also see the sources of traffic, what comes direct to them, what comes through links, what comes through search, social, and their mail advertising. This allows you to understand where the traffic sources are coming from. It doesn't give you so much as an in-depth link. Again, this is a paid for extension that you could buy into as you begin to expand. But it gives you a rough overview and it allows you to model what you are doing against what your competitor is doing. So if you can see, for example, that they are getting a huge volume of sources of traffic from their mail list, for example, in this case it isn't that, then you should be doing more mailing. If you are getting a huge amount from links, then you need to concentrate your time on the link building within your website, and it gives you a really good idea of where to make a start. Here again, it shows you where the majority of the traffic is coming from. So Amazon's traffic mainly, although we're on the UK site, is from the UK. That 75% of their traffic is coming from the UK. And who is referring that traffic? This shows you who is bringing in huge volumes of traffic to Amazon. You can see that they've got more sites. You can click down there and find out what their top organic search words are. Again, you already got this from SEMRush, but it gives you a little bit more information that backs up what they said. And also from their social traffic, you can see that Facebook generates a huge amount of traffic for them, much more than Twitter. So there again, if you're looking at a competitor, you'll say, right, actually a huge amount of their passing trade is coming through Facebook. That's where I'm going to concentrate my resources this month. And when you start to match your template to their template, and your sales are exceeding their sales, you know that you have successfully hacked what they're up to. Again, you can see their ads. Facebook obviously is a huge resource of ads for Amazon, and therefore that is where you should be concentrating your resources. If you were a competitor to Amazon, you'd say, right, actually we know that Facebook is generating a lot of traffic, and we know the ads on Facebook are generating a lot of traffic. So what sort of advertising are they doing? And then you sales hack that specific action through those channels. And you can see using SEMRush exactly the type of ad that you are looking at. Go in, hack that entire sales funnel. Buy it, you can always send it back, but go through that sales process with them. And it also tells you a little bit about their audience here, who is also interested in different things. So if you're an Amazon customer, you're probably interested in eBay or the BBC or Argos. And that gives you a really good means, not in this instance, but in a lot of instances, it can sometimes give you a really good means to cross-market, because these things are not always the same. So you can open up new revenues of traffic to your website by cross-marketing with some of these people on similar products that do not conflict, but something that your audience is interested in. Similar sites, this just gives you a quick overview of the sort of sites that maybe you also ought to be checking out, sites that you hadn't considered to be a competitor of yours. Very useful just to sort of keep you on top of your traffic and to see what other things, what other mediums you can employ to drag that traffic on. And do they use apps? So for example, we know that Amazon use the Amazon app and the Amazon Fresh Seller fulfillment. But they don't use any other apps. Is it worth you developing an app? Is that an expense you need to go to? So here you can get that kind of information from there. Again, Amazon, we're going to show you built with and how that works. So here I'm just opening up the Chrome extension. And again, this gives you a bit of information of the sort of things that they have on their website that helps them grow. So you can see their certificates, what copyrights they've got, web hosting providers, email providers, whether the e-commerce store that they're using, obviously that's their own, the fact that the site is built in PHP, the advertising applications that they use, which of course they use a lot. Here you go. You've got your Facebook exchange. You can see the type of Facebook marketing that they are doing and how they are actually doing it. Their content, their Yahoo. This gives you a lot of information on the sort of things that they are using to help them get their websites out there, and the tracking that they're using to analyze those results and work upon them. So that gives you all this information out there. All the add-ons that they've got onto their site. I mean, it's so huge because Amazon is like one of the biggest companies in the world, but this gives you a really good idea of what they have built their website with and how they are driving traffic. And if they have any relationships, gives you a whole host of information. Again, this is a free Chrome app and it allows you just to dig into their website a lot more than you would currently see but by looking at it on face value. And you can use these information to help you mimic what they are doing to turn their customers into your own customers. Get a little bit more insight into what they are doing. And if you're stuck, email us, pick up the phone, have a chat with us. We're here to help you out. That's what we do and that's what we love doing. And we can tell you what courses you will need to help you build and grow that business, or we can just help you get unstuck. You know, if you need that bit of information or you're struggling to get to the next level, we want to hear, we want to create a relationship with you, so get in touch with us. By using those tools, it will allow you to see if they're using any remarketing, the platforms they're using, the conversion tracking software, the plugins, and so on. And that will allow you to absolutely robustly copy what it is that they were doing and take out any of the variables that might occur should you have not put these things on your site. Now, as I said before, if you want a list of tools, we've got some great ones on our blog, on our website, neat tools for spying on your competitors. Check them out, give you a lot more information and allow you to get much deeper into this process. Now that we've shown you how to hack your competitor's sales strategy, it's time to build your own. What we would suggest you do is choose the funnel that is driving the most amount of traffic from your competitor's website. Now, whether that be a landing page or an advert or a Facebook post, we would suggest that you start with the one that drives the most amount of traffic, as that is going to give you the better rate of return. Now, we use a company called ClickFunnels. They're great at funnel building, and they take out the need for variables such as a requirement for landing pages or then needing someone to design it for you. So go and check them out. They're great at this process. They've got some great blogs on it as well, and it will show you how they do it and have a little play around with their system. You can get, I think it's a month free of charge just to give it a go. And so we would suggest you start with them and see how that process works for you. And it almost gives you the exact means to be able to replicate your client's sales funnel without any real experience required. Another company you can use is $20 banners, and you can use those to create, if you've got an advert, create an almost identical looking ads. They'll look at the colors, the call to actions that are being made, and it will create you an advertisement that is almost identical. However, you'll have your own writing on there and your own website name, but it will be so similar, and this will allow you to take out any other variables that are in there, because what you don't want to do is put your web copy on and everything else to be almost identical in every way, and your funnel to be set up exactly the same way, but your ad just isn't translating into sales. Well, this will allow you to take that variable out. Now you're ready to go. You've put your sales funnel in place. All you need to do is get in contact with the websites directing traffic to your competitor's site and ask if you can place your ad or blog or whatever it is that you've created onto their website. 9 times out of 10, they are going to be more than happy to do it, unless they've signed some exclusivity deal, which is generally highly unlikely. And the reason for this is that it's either going to drive a new revenue stream to their website, or it's going to bring in increased traffic because it's going to increase the engagement on their site. Just a quick caveat, do not plagiarize your competitor's copy. You must do your own version, but do it with a unique twist. Make sure that it contains keywords that you can see are driving traffic. Copy that is plagiarized will be penalized by Google. You can do a similar offer, but just not the same content. So this is kind of the most important part, is to how to turn these customers into your customers. At Silicon Valley, they say that the product is the marketing. Essentially what that means is that it will market itself because the product is so good. What you need to ensure that you do is you highlight your product's USPs over and above your competitors. You need to create a tripwire, something that is so appealing to them that they can't not take it up. So I'll take you back to the bottle of health food medicine that we saw earlier. Now, their offer was get a free bottle, but after you'd filled in that form and they'd taken their email address from you, actually what they were doing is they were upselling you a lot of offers. Now, if your tripwire is simply about taking an email address, you've created something that's so appealing that they have to give you their email address. You've got a way to remarket to them at a later date. I'm going to go into that a little bit more in a minute. However, a tripwire is really important, and it's got to be stronger than your competitors. That way you are beginning to steal their customers away from them. So highlight your USPs, ensure that they are stronger than your competitors. Create a tripwire that is so strong that they are more tempted by yours than your competitors. Make it easy for them to sign into it. Use social sign-ins. So you sign in with your Google account or Twitter account. There's lots of companies out there that allow you to add these to your sites, or you can get your web designers to do that for you. If you've got a self-build, as I said, there's companies out there that will help you do that. Make it easy for them to also share your content. Make it fun, interactive. That way they are more likely to want to share it. And especially if it's that strong that the product sells itself, they're going to want to share it. Again, you want to use very strong keyword content. This is really important. You've already seen how much keywords drive traffic into site. So again, look back at the keywords that are being used on your competitors' sites. See what their traffic volumes are like and strengthen those up. Again, you will begin to see a higher increase in conversion. Another thing I really want you to look at is the email sequence that they gave you. Most people will not buy the first time they make contact with you, but you've got their email, and it's now at this point you can really start to build a relationship with your customer. Make a note of the sequence, save the emails, put them up on the wall, because these emails they feel are converting for them. So give your own version a try. Give it a test run, split test this to see if your sales funnel is better than their sales funnel. Monitoring conversions is something that we are super passionate about, because if you're not monitoring, you're never going to know what is working and what is not. So this is where we come back to the bows and arrows that you have received along the way, your learning curves. Now, what we would suggest you do is once you've created your funnel, you let it run for a week or 2 weeks. And at that point, you can compare side by side with your competitor using SEMRush, what is working and what is not. And look at the process. How far down your sales funnel are they going? At what points are they dropping off? And then use the points that you have learned along the way about your business and your clients and say, right, we know X about our clients and they are dropping off at this point. What can we use that would resonate with them to make sure that we don't lose clients at this point? And using that knowledge will allow you to move ahead of your competitor. Now, what we would say is that you don't want to go in and look at the sales process and say, we've hacked this funnel, we're going to now change everything that we know about it, because then you aren't actually split testing or funnel hacking at all. What you need to do is change one element once a week, and that way you can really begin to drill down into what is working and what is not. So either change a headline, change the call to action, change the text, but don't change all three at once, because you will not get the best amount of data out of there. You won't know exactly what is resonating and what is not. It takes time, and there will be slow increase during this time. Sometimes you may find it decreases, in which case you know that you didn't want to change that element. But monitoring it means that you can really finely tune your marketing process. Retargeting is something that I personally love, and I've had huge success with it. Typically, you will find that 95 or 75 to 95 people who come to your site will never make contact with you again. They'll have a look, they'll disappear. They may have been interested, but they've been distracted. They got up, they made a cup of tea. If you're like me, you got the kids screaming in the back room, and you have to suddenly get up and walk away, and you forget what you were doing. And that's a real shame. But if you have applied retargeting advertising to your campaigns, you are going to see a much better rate of return. Now, you've probably heard of the advertising rule that you need to make contact with someone about 5 to 7 times before they actually purchase from you. Well, retargeting allows you to show your ad to people who have visited your website or seen your ad or article before, and it actually reminds them that you are out there. And that recognition begins to build a sense of trust in your community and the people who would look at your advertisement. There are many ways to retarget, and it depends on the industry that you're in, whether you're offering products or services, whether you've got a brochure site or whether you've got an e-commerce site, as to which ones you might choose. However, retargeting is so powerful because not only does it remind people that you are there all the time, but it means that if your competitors are not retarget advertising, they visited 2 sites as a comparison. They've disappeared, they've gone off to make their cup of tea or whatever it is that they were doing, and they come back and they start Googling something entirely different. And it will be your website that reappears. It won't be your competitors. And you will keep reappearing to them. And the more times you see a site, the more trust you begin to have in that relationship with them. And the more likely you are to buy from that website. And therefore, that allows you a really powerful way to get ahead of your competitors. Now, if they are retargeting and you are not, then you're going to be losing those to them, which is why we talk about employing the same techniques. Essentially, if they're retargeting, you need to retarget. But again, you need to make your proposition stronger so that you can steal those clients away. Just want to say a massive thank you for staying till the end, and I hope that this was really useful and gave you a slightly more in-depth insight into this area of marketing. We'd love to cover absolutely everything in one training, but we know that we can't. So first of all, what we'd love to do, and if you have any questions, we know that one of our clients' most frustrating thing is that they listen to these things, they go away and they get stuck trying to implement it. Well, don't stay stuck. What we want you to do is contact us. If there's anything that you suddenly get to that you don't understand, come and contact us and we will help you get through this process. We are here to hold your hand. That's what we want to do. Even though we're giving away this for free, we're still here to help you get through this process. We want you to succeed so that you start to understand the importance of this. Secondly, anyone who shares this feed, we're going to give away £50 off one of our classes during the day. We run a series. Go to our website, check out the courses that we do. We also do some online courses, so you can sign up to one of those. We'll give you £50 off one of those. If you want to do this in your own time and your own pace, there's another way of doing it. The advantage of coming on to one of our classes is that we are there. You can bring your computer in. We can show you exactly how to do it for your site. So that can sometimes be much more helpful for people wanting a bit more hand-holding. Or we'll give you £100 off our day rate for one-to-one training. So all you have to do is share this feed to get that money off voucher. Just to give you a quick overview of what we offer, and we suggest you visit our website just to get a little bit more information. But Pink Elephant Media offer audits. One of the advantages to that is we can see exactly where you currently are and what you might be missing, so you could make the most of the training that we would offer you. Now, an audit would typically take on looking at your back-end system, see what trackers you've got on there, see the sort of techniques that you're employing to convert these customers. We'd look at your social media feeds, we'd look at your website, blog posts, anything that was driving traffic into your site. Then we'd look at your competitors, your keyword searches, just to check that you're utilizing the correct keywords on your site. And again, we would then look at and talk to you about where you want to get to and start to formulate a marketing plan around where you're going, whether that's a 3 months, 6 months, or a year's marketing plan with step-by-step instructions on how to actually get there. We also offer one-to-one training. That is where we come in and we'll sit down and take you through certain processes to ensure that you really understand them. That's really important if it's something that you're going to be doing again and again and again and again. We also offer company training, so where you want to have bigger amounts of people being trained on a certain strategy, we can come in and teach classroom style training around that, and really based around your company and your business. So we'd get a good understanding of your business before we came in. We'd have a chat with you, and our training would be around your industry so that it's really understood. Again, we offer classroom training, so have a look. We've got certain courses that we do. If you're interested, please sign up and register your interest in these courses. That way we know where you want them and where to go and where to put them on. And with more people, they are less expensive for you to do that than one-to-one training. And the other option that we are bringing in soon is online training. This will allow you to work through it at your own time and your own pace. We know that there's lots of mums with web companies out there, or dads, or people who are fitting this in around their other jobs who simply haven't got the time to take a day off or have me come in and sit with them for a whole day. And they want the knowledge, but they want to work through it in their own time and step by step. So that's a great option for you, and that will be coming soon. So if you're interested, again, please register your interest. Again, if you want more now, please feel free to look at our website, see the sort of things that we offer. We either do this on a one-to-one training, or we do bespoke courses around what it is that your company needs to know about. We also will do an audit of your website. We'll look at it, decide what needs to be done if you're not sure. If you want more information now, please visit our website. It will give you all the information there that you need. However, what we offer, just to give some clarity on that, is one-to-one training. We offer audits. If you don't know what it is that your company might need, but you know you need to grow, or you don't know what it's missing, you don't know what course you need to take, we will offer you a one-off audit which will go through all your social media feeds, your competition, how your website is set up. We'll look for the flaws in your system so that you can make the most of the data that we're giving you on how to move forward. Again, we